Hey, so in this video, believe it or not, we're going to talk about how some people will go their entire lifetime putting no estate legal protections in place, and it works out. So I'm Paul Rabalais. I'm an estate planning attorney. I help our clients get and keep their legal affairs in order. And like I said, sometimes people, they'll live 80, 90 years and they never either gave any thought or had any desire or didn't see a need to see a lawyer about putting an estate legal program in place. And I'm probably the first estate lawyer who makes his living helping people put estate legal programs in place. I'm probably the first lawyer to ever tell you, while I don't advise it, that you neglect it. I'm probably the first to tell you that sometimes, quite frankly, it works out okay. So and this falls in line with many other things in life that if ignored, for some people, it still works out okay. So how many people have told you, yeah, I have this health issue and I just ignored it and it worked out. They have a heart issue, they have something, and they end up living a long, healthy life. Or sometimes people say, yeah, I know I need that, you pick that life insurance, that disability insurance, that health insurance, that car insurance. They never get it, and it somehow just works out. Or sometimes people will tell you, yeah, the doctor said I was supposed to be taking this medicine, but I ain't taking it, and lo and behold, it works out okay for them. Or some people drive around with driver's license expired, or inspection stickers expired, or maybe you speed every time you drive, or you run all the stoplights, and it just works out. There's never any consequence as a result of it. So, estate planning is kind of like that. Sometimes people put nothing in place and things just work out. So let me just give you an example. Let's call this couple Neglectful Ned and Procrastination Polly. And they got 3 kids, and they live, well into their 80s. And Ned was one of those, I don't need a lawyer. Who needs those darn lawyers? They run too many commercials on TV. So I don't need any of that. And so they go, they're married 50, 60 years and just kind of lived the normal life. Never ran into any kind of legal things where if they had some legal protections in place, things would have been better off. They lived kind of a simple life. They had their 3 kids. And let's say at, maybe at 83 years old, Procrastination Polly passes away. And so, Neglectful Ned, he's like, I don't need to do anything. I'm just going to keep living in my home, and our bank accounts are joint, and I still got my IRA. I don't do anything. I don't need to see a lawyer, so he doesn't. And he, things, plug on for Neglectful Ned. And then let's say 5 years later, Ned never becomes incapacitated where he can't sign things for himself. That never happens. Neglectful Ned just drops dead at age 90 one day. And now the 3 kids kind of realize, okay, they finally realize we got to talk to a lawyer because we can't get at mom and dad's accounts, and we can't get at, we can't sell mom and dad's house. We got to see a lawyer. So they go see a lawyer, and the lawyer tells them, well, we got to do 2 probates now because, the house was in both of your parents' names. So we got to do the probates, or successions here in Louisiana, as we call it, for both, Neglectful Ned and Procrastination Polly. But the 3 kids all get along great, and there's no, issue as to who's going to be the administrator of those probates and who's going to be in charge of, selling the home and collecting the funds. And so the 3 kids get along great. They love each other, and no real issues there with the probates. They get the probates done, and yes, it takes a little while, and they incur some expense, and they use, ultimately they end up using, Ned and Polly's money to pay those expenses, and then, they sell the house, and the 3 kids get what's left. So that situation kind of worked itself out. Now, and then the problem is that the 3 kids now they're 65 years old, and they're starting to realize they won't live with that forever. And now they're starting to think, well, mom and dad never saw a lawyer. They never hired a lawyer. They never did anything. So I don't need to do anything. So when kind of Polly and Ned, by getting away with it, it makes it harder for us estate lawyers to convince, maybe that's too strong a word, or persuade, or get the 3 children to realize, maybe that's appropriate. Makes it harder when the parents kind of got away with it. Makes it harder for us to make the children or get the children to realize that they really should be putting estate legal protections in place. Yes, your parents did nothing, they got away with it. Happy that it worked out great, but let's take a look at your situation and see if anything's different. And I think just today, life is more complex, more rules, more regulations. What people own can be a little more complex. Family situations can be different. So in fact, I put a video together. I'm gonna link you to it right up there. It's a video called 5 Reasons People Take Advantage of an Estate Attorney's Services. That's just the start. I could come up with more and probably will in subsequent videos. To get you to start kind of realizing why it's so important to have those legal protections in place. So this video is not what it's not is a video that's designed to encourage everyone from just blowing off putting any kind of estate legal program in order. This is not a video by any means, but it is a video to get people to realize that some people ignore putting legal affairs in order. And sometimes bad things that could have happened because they ignored it didn't happen. And that does make it harder to get the children to realize how important it is and get children to realize, get them to appreciate just how important it is to put those legal, tax, and financial protections in place. I will tell you, however, bad things will happen to you if you don't do 3 things. 1, hit the subscribe button. 2, and the notification bell that's attached to it. And 3, give it a like. So, and then of course, stay tuned every 10 a.m. Central Time every morning. New estate planning educational videos. We welcome your constructive comments below. So a unique video, quite frankly, sometimes people do nothing and it works out, but I'd say you're kind of taking a chance. And I also say that, boy, even when people really, they kind of feel like they don't need to do anything, but they come in and they realize there's some basic protections that we can put in place to protect what they have if they get incapacitated, to designate the right people to handle things in the future, and to confirm how they want to leave things when they pass away, even when they kind of don't feel like they absolutely need that. But when they come in and they get those things discussed and done, boy, you see and you hear the relief fall. You see their shoulders drop and they're like, boy, I'm just so glad we're getting this done. Gives people a great peace of mind for putting, at least just the basic legal affairs in order. Okay, y'all have a great day. I'll see you tomorrow at 10 a.m. Take care.